Okay, you are welcome to tonight's session. The session is already on recording, and tonight we are going to look at key techniques. Want to be moving very fast to look at key techniques involved in business analysis. So that is what we are going to be discussing today. We have a lot of techniques, so we are going to take time to look at them. It's going to be topic by topic. One topic is going to be one lesson. We're going to look at various techniques involved. All right, let's get started. What we're going to look at tonight is going to be how to understand business environment. It's very important to understand your business environment. At this point, you are not even Mr. Chukuma. Can you put yourself on mute? So at this time, you are not even looking at the project. The first thing is so, like I said, at this point, when you are starting or when you are starting a project, or when you are joining a company to start on a project, so many of us are going to start our business analysis by joining a company. You know, the first thing is for you to understand what is their business environment, what are they doing, what are they into. It's very important to understand the business environment. So that the project you are working on, you make sure that the project aligns with the business objectives. And to understand this, one key techniques we use to understand this is what we call PESTLE. So we're going to look at PESTLE analysis. It's not only personal analysis, you can equally analyze the reports or every other thing concerning the company. But to understand politically the business environment you find yourself, the easiest way is for you to apply PESTLE analysis. So if you are hearing PESTLE analysis for the first time, yeah, so we're going to deal with it today. So I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for responding. And yeah, so just like I said earlier, it's about understanding the business environment. This business environment, understanding it is by help you gaining a comprehensive understanding of the organization's industry and their market condition and other regulatory environment involved within that industry. So you see, we have various techniques that are going to help us to achieve this. We have market research, to carry out a research on your own to understand the markets. The one we are going to analyze here is, or study here is PESTLE analysis. You can equally read industry reports, various reports about the industry, and key trend analysis. All the trend analysis, you are going to do that. So, look at this example here using PESTLE analysis to understand the regulatory environment, impacting customer data handling and market research to identify emerging trends. So we're trying to understand customer in this scenario, and we want to apply PERSO analysis. So what is the full meaning of this PERSO analysis? This is PERSO analysis. We'll talk about P here. PERSO is just an acronym, and P here is the full meaning of PERSO. P is for political, E is for economical, S is for social, T is for technological, and L is for legal, and E is for the environment. Looking in our own case, we're in social media industry. Social media industry, which is a chant up, and we want to use PERSO analysis to understand social media industry in Nigeria. Then you look at what is the political factors affecting that industry. You see here political and government stability, political orientation, local and national election, taxation, current and future. We see trade union, we see war, both home and international, pandemic, policies, grants and funds available, and then pressure groups. If you want to start a social media business, or you have a social media, you want to understand how these political factors are affecting that industry. This is giving you a very good, you look at all this, looking at political and the government stability, does it affect your business? As a matter of fact, whether there is a political stability or an instability, you are in social media, it's going to affect your company for me in a favorable way, because platform like that is for a lot of news, carrying news. So a lot of political activities is going to even promote the activities in your business. Political orientation, how aware the people or the political culture affecting the industry, and equally local and national election, does it affect your business? So these are the things when we want to talk about political. You see taxation, both current and future. How does the tax system affect your business? You see trade union, what are the trade union affecting our social media platform? If we're in a war, how is it affecting us? Are we going to be shutting down because of war? It's up to you to answer that that question. Pandemic like COVID-19, a situation where the whole country was shut down. If the country was shut down, is it going to affect your business? How does it affect your business? Of course, you know that once people are no longer physical, everybody will go digital. So it's going to even promote the business. And the grants, what are the grants governments have available? Does government support that kind of business through grants or any funding? It's up to you to answer this. And pressure groups, what are the groups that can affect this? Because in social media, there's a lot of groups forming in, all these influencer group, this group, so many groups. So it's for you to understand how are they. So with this, if you mirror it to your industry, it's going to give you understanding of what is opportunities are available, and challenges you are going to navigate. So If you are looking for economic factors, national debt, just like Nigeria, we are so much indebted to China now and other countries. How is this national debt affecting our business? For me, I don't think national debt is affecting us in any way. Consumer spending, is there enough funding available for people to spend? So our business, all we need is data. So how many people can afford data to access social media platform? Everybody can almost afford that. Then have government spending. Yeah, government is spending, but even if government spending is not affecting us in any way, inflation, high rise of things, products in the market, does it affect us? How does it affect? I don't think so. It's for you to understand. It's left for you to answer all these questions. You see, unemployment level, is it affecting us? As a matter of fact, in our social media platform, we have section, we have a feature for jobs. So if we optimize it and it start working like LinkedIn, so unemployment is even going to fuel or increase activity, because people will always be spending a lot of time with us looking for jobs. Taxation, exchange rates, supply chain volatility, overall economic situation. Then if you come to social factors like demographics, we have a customer attitude and buying pattern, media effects, influencer, and of course, everything in social media, social factors here is almost going to be favorable, but we need to understand how they are favorable or unfavorable to us. You see influencers and role models, brand image, ethical issues, consumer spend, post-pandemic lifestyle, and cultural shift. All this I don't say is going to affect us so negatively. Then you come to technology. You see technology demand. Yes, the demand for technological know-how or platform or solutions or devices in Nigeria is very high now. Yeah, we have this good appetite for this technological advancement. Then technology development, yeah, Nigeria is advancing. Yeah, unlike before that everything is just static. Here, there's a lot of startups springing up. Level of research and development funding. Yeah, we know we have a bank for commerce and industry, but I don't know how far or how easy it is to send their funding. Intellectual property rights and copyright. Yeah, that is one thing we have. People can always copyright you without any problems, and government is not doing anything on that. So lifestyle of the products, government investment in technology, internet connectivity. These are areas like internet connectivity is poor, but it's not the connectivity is enough to help us access our platform. So legal, when we talk about legal, talk about compliance, legislation in areas such as competition, health and safety, and environmental legislation, changes and the effects of EU law and Brexit, pandemic law, and other things like equally data protection laws. These are all there's a lot of legislation involved here. So how are we going to comply with legislation? We have global environment, we have global warming, we have pollution, we have plastic waste, attitudes to commerce and customer, attitude of customers and media, testers and lawmakers of the environment, renewable energy, deforestation, green issues, sustainability, and environmental protection. So if you look at all these factors, it has given you a wide areas where you can mirror. All you need here is mirror this to your environment and see how they can affect your environment. That will help you to see how are you going to be complying. What areas do you need to, build up? Where do you foresee challenges when working on your project? Because what happened to the company generally, or what happened to the industry generally, is going to affect that small project we are working on. So this is to help you understand the market. When you are starting as a project, as a business analyst, this is not a deliverable. Nobody is going to, the stakeholders are not going to ask you to prepare a personal analysis. Nobody is going to ask you for that, but this will help you to understand your environment and become a better business analyst when you start your work. So looking at this, for instance, if you want to apply it to your business, you see here under this here, you see political. Nigerian landscape have been relatively stable in recent years. That's government stability, which is favorable for business expansion. However, there are concerns about political corruption and insecurity in some regions. Regulatory environment. Understand and comply with Nigerian regulatory pertaining to online platform, data privacy, and content moderation. So these are the areas you need to, if you are working on anything, any project within this environment: data protection, data privacy, content moderation. So we have government support. Explore opportunities for government support or incentive for technology and innovation. For instance, when you come to, in Nigeria, like I said, commerce and industry, yes, but I don't know. If you go to CBN, I think even CBN, they have a lot of, they have some funding. Yeah, but I think all those funding, all those things are just paper. In paper, most of them are not realistic. When you want to access them, you find out that they are just there to decorate the internet, So, but here in the UK, there's a grant, or what they call tech for good. If you are working on a project, or if you are working on a startup or a product, and that your product belongs to the tech for good product, then you are likely going to be able to access funding. Tech for good is when your startup or your solution is for is highly favorable for humanity. It solves very serious humanity problems. Then you find that, for instance, if you are working on any application which is towards global warming, climate change, you are going to get a lot of funding, because government always, international bodies, always funding. Another project that towards that area is like Here we have loneliness. If you have any kind of application or solution that works towards loneliness, a lot of people are lonely. And that's why you see, that's why social media started trending, because of loneliness. You know, people here are, that's a way of life. Like you go to Nigeria, you see Nigeria is bustling and bubbling. But here, a lot of people are lonely. So this kind of solution that can help people in that kind of situation, that's what we class for. We class them under tech for good. Okay, another one is like disadvantaged people. Like if you come to Nigeria, where there you will have a lot of unbanked people. A lot of people are in the rural area. Banking system have not reached them. That's why this OP and POS becomes a very big solution, because no matter where you are, they are now extending these financial services to you. So this is what we mean government support. So wherever country you are, you try to source for that kind of incentive or grant, depending on your product. So with this, after using this to do analysis as a BA, it has given you political awareness about your particular business, where you stand. If looking at economics within our own environment, which is e-commerce and social media, we say economic growth. Nigerian economy has shown steady growth in the recent years, indicating a growing market for social media platform. Okay, internet penetration. Increasing internet penetration, especially among younger demographics, is a positive indicator for this market. So, years back, we don't have this kind of access to internet. Everybody got access to the internet. No one, if you don't have an even old mothers in the village, if you go to TikTok or the Facebook, you see the kind of videos, even old grandmas are now part of this content creation business. You see them, they are creating content and they're posting it online. And some of them are now started using it to make money, unlike before. You see a retiree can go to the village and start creating content about village. And people are enjoying that kind of content. So that is internet penetration. It has penetrated and is promoting business. If you have any kind of business in this e-commerce, digital, yes, the market is going to be favorable. Then consumer spending. Consumer spending pattern, how is it in Nigeria when it comes to online business? Yes, unlike before, people buy online items online so much these days. Before, people don't have that kind of mind. They are scared. They feel that anybody who wants to sell something online are scammers. But today, we have high confidence in online buying and selling. Yeah. Although we are still trying to develop a stable platform, but the confidence, people's confidence is already high. Okay, social culture. We have our youth population. Nigeria has a large and vibrant youth population, which is heavily engaged in social media. So this is a big plus. Cultural preference, understanding local cultural preference and adapt to platform according to accordingly to resonate Nigerian user. So our cultural preference these days, you see, we are beginning to adapt, and yeah, so is now become, we're now integrating social media life into our daily lifestyle. So it's now, social media is now a culture in Nigeria. It's a culture. It's no longer like a foreign culture. It's now a domesticated culture that if you want to know what is happening, people tend to follow social media news than conventional news, and governments are responding. And that's why you can see somebody can attack a sitting politician, and all of a sudden you see a change, a positive change. You see a big business corporation, somebody will attack them, and you see them come begging. That is cultural change. We have now integrated social media as part of our culture. For instance, the other time I was seeing a man in the north, they say the Sharia court seized his property, and he was there crying, kneeling down. VDM, come to my rescue. VDM, come to my rescue. VDM, I want to die. They have collected my property. And before you know it, VDM sent a group of lawyers to the man's rescue. And now they've restored the man's properties they've taken away before. So you see how online culture will have fully integrated online culture into our daily life in Nigeria, which is a very big plus. So it means that social media is a very ripe business for Nigeria. Okay, so language. Consider the preference language. So do we need to consider all these languages are highly accepted? Both we also the social media platform adopts any kind of language. The language they do not accept is foul language, abusive language. But cultural languages, they are highly accepted. Then you see technology like internet infrastructure, mobile penetration, technological literacy. We are very good on this. We have good internet infrastructure, and is increasing. You see, even foreigners like Starlink from Elon Musk, they are in Nigeria, and they are expanding rapidly. Even local companies in Nigeria, they are doing well. As long as you are in internet and you have good services, you see a lot of people patronizing you. And mobile penetration, everybody have got mobile phone in everybody. Even people in primary school here in Nigeria, I know so many rich men, their children are, even in primary school, their children are already using a mobile phone. Secondary school, like almost everybody in secondary school these days have got mobile. So unlike those days when we are there in the university, so many of us did not even have the opportunities to use a mobile phone. So there is high technological advancement, and legal data privacy. Talk about data privacy, you must comply with Nigerian data protection law, such as the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. There is equally the general data protection globally, but we're talking about Nigeria here. Then Content regulation, understanding and adhere to content regulation regarding hate speech, misinformation, and harmful content. So we need to understand some of this that we need. If you are trying to come into this business, you must be able to censor, your platform must be able to handle this kind of regulation, hate speeches, misinformation. And I hear that National Assembly, they are trying to pass another law saying that as a content creator, there are some areas in content creation you cannot venture into unless you are certified or you have a certificate showing that you have the required knowledge to talk about it. Because anything content creation, you see a lot of people now who have so many teachers online. So everybody will just come and teach what they know. Some at times you see some people teaching the wrong thing. You know, there's a lot of vulnerable people out there consuming some of this content. You see somebody will come and start teaching how to make use herb to make ulcer medicine online. And some people will just, after listening to that, they will just go and start making it and drinking it. Maybe while the person doing it never learn it from anywhere. Maybe the person just read it somewhere and came and start teaching that. The person doing that might never have even tried it. So it's good to, some of these areas, it's good to regulate some of these areas so that if you want to be a comedy, yes, you can. There's a lot of comedy section, but in terms of teaching, there's a lot of misinformation going on, and such areas should be regulated very well. And then intellectual property, protect intellectual property right to avoid copyright. Like you see so many of us here in Nigeria, I don't think it's working as it should be. I've seen someone in YouTube who is trying to monetize all my videos, or what the person is doing is just downloading all my videos from YouTube and then convert it into his own, and be monetizing it. I said, why are you doing that? You know, if you want to create a content, even so many people, I see so many people here, they will just go and start teaching exactly using my notes verbatim, and so this is copyright. Is against the law. So, and even Equidem those days, even up till now, so many people who started teaching, they from once they left her class, they will start up their own. You know, they start saying you can't just go and be selling somebody's intellectual property. So some of them, the courses Equi is selling for 20,000, you see them selling it for 5,000. That is a crime, you know. You don't do that. If you develop your own, you can do it. But you know, you just pull it the way it is, and that's one thing with our people. So, and you see even not only in this world called piracy. Piracy is everywhere. You see some people, all these all these Nollywood actors, once they drop a movie, another person will copy that movie and go and post its own platform. That is wrong. But in Nigeria, there is no protection. Nobody is, you saw a lot of people do it and get away with it. It's just that these days, so if you are having a social media platform, you should be able to regulate this kind of, so that once somebody posts content that is not original, you should be able to take it down. Yeah. So these are the areas of legal issue of this, and we have environment. How is the environment affected? What are the environmental factors like sustainability? So these look at considering sustainability initiatives and environmental impacts, especially in areas related to energy consumption and data storage. And climate change. Under climate change, you need to be aware of potential impact of climate change on infrastructure and operation. You see that if you apply this, it's going to expand. It help you to understand your industry very well, how to, the opportunities, the threats, everything. You can use personal analysis to explore the market. So if you are a newcomer in the market, this is the best thing for you to use to explore the market and understand the market very well. With that, you are not going to be asking a lot of questions. Even during your requirement gathering session, you already know the environment very well. So you don't need to try to understand, because I find so many people, they are most those who do not understand this personal analysis. If you start requirement gathering session, so many of them will spend their time in trying to understand the market environment, regulation. This, you don't need anybody to, you don't need stakeholders to teach you this. You don't need to gather this requirement from stakeholders. Use personal analysis to understand the market. So when you start your requirement gathering, you become more focused on the core business need, not trying to understand the environment. So this makes you a better business analyst. So that's it. So that's it for. So next time we are going to skip, because we don't have time. I don't have time to start repeating classes. We've handled stakeholder analysis. So all we need to do when we reach this stakeholder analysis is we're going to use our video again to cover it. We'll stream it. If you want to watch it again, you go there and watch it again. But we're not going to come and spend a class handling stakeholder analysis. We're going to bypass it because it's the same thing we've done. So the video is already there. You are okay. What we are going to do next is defining business objective in our next class. Business objective. How do we define the business objectives? So that is it. But for tonight, we are done for tonight. Like I said, we are going to bypass stakeholder analysis. But the video will be, the notes, I will equally repost the notes on the section. So because if you are a business analyst, I don't want you to say, I can't find a section or video for business analysis. What I'm saying is that once you go there, you know that this the video we use in project management. That's the video we're going to repost at this section. Yeah, so that's it. So if you have question on this personal analysis, if you do not understand it, what it means, yeah, but it's good, it's a technique to help you understand the market environment by, you know, factors by factors, step by step. So it covers everything you need to know about the market. So that's it for this week. So, and if you got a question, you raise your hand. So, okay, Mitchell. Let's us know where we can help you.
It's not Mitchell, it's Michael.
Okay, sorry, Michael.
Good evening, Mr. Charles. Mine is not really a question. It's just to find out if we can send you our CVs. I've decided to take your challenge. I want to eat pounds and dollars before Christmas Day. So I'm wondering if I produce my CV, if I've designed it, if I can forward to you to help check.
I'm not reviewing people's CV. That is not part of my agreement with you. I'll give you a template to help you create your CV. You know how many people I'm teaching? I'll start reviewing everybody's CV. That is not part of the agreement. If you cannot use the CV, then forget about it.
Okay, it's all right.
So in my classes, past that kind of school feeding, I've done enough for you. So if you can't help yourself out to use the template to refine your CV, then stay where you are. Any more questions? All right, thank you everyone, and see you next time.
Thank you, Mr. Charles.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, good night.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You guys, next time.